I am live and welcome. So I am just turning off sound. All is good. So it is today, the 25th of May, 2026. And this is one of my weekly live mentoring with my collective Odeon. And if you haven't been here before, my name is Michelle Andreasen. I am a psychic, a medium, and a healer. And I also channel this amazing collective of spirit guides called Odeon. And sometimes I also channel from the Galactic Council of Light, which I'm not quite sure is the right term for it, because they haven't told me what they're called. But when I was up there and all the things they've told me and shown me, it seems like it corresponds with what other people are naming it across all the videos I've watched. So I need to get some fuel. No, it's not alcohol. It's passion fruit syrup with, sparkling water. Okay. So I usually have a topic for these things. And I'm going to write in the topic what it is today. No, not in the topic, in the chat, what the topic is today, because usually I know the topic the day before or during the day, but today it came like 10 minutes ago based on a conversation I had with a dear friend who also channels and has done it for a lot longer than I have. And we were talking about past lives and living simultaneous lives. So all the dimensional stuff that took me a long, long time to accept as part of my reality, but I'm there now. So I'm just going to type it, and it's probably going to be noisy because for some reason they built this laptop so that everything I do on the keyboard sounds as though I'm I don't know, breaking down a house or something. But topic of the day is capacity. And the reason for that is that I know that I have been trained by some of the best in the spirit realm to become a healer. And it's taken me a long time to let go of control and just be in it. And for some reason, the self-healing is really hard for me. And and something big changed today, because I have been told that in order for me to truly be a good channel for effective healing, I need to believe it. And I do believe, based on experiences I've had personally and also the experiences I've had when I was healing, I know that I have a special talent when it comes to emotions, because all the things I've experienced, it makes it easy for me to know, okay, now I'm working on this, now I'm working on that. This seems familiar, but I have not been able to believe in my ability to help people release pain, even though I know that people have had a lot of, what do we call it? Well, once they were in my healing, even though I was working intuitively and not with an intention to remove pain, I have been working on helping people heal themselves, removing blockages and letting go of old trash in the system, in the mind, in the habits. And I have heard from many people that pain also disappeared. So they may have come with one person told me that it had been, I think it was 2 years, where she weren't able to sleep through the night because of pain. And after one of my healings, she was able to. So I didn't deliberately do anything to help her with the pain, but I did. I actually had the experience of putting my hands on her knees. And usually when I walk around in a group healing setting, I just have my hands on people for a short time, well, I don't really set an intention other than I want this person to be able to receive whatever they need and in the amount they're ready to take in. And then I'm just open to let it flow through me. But here it felt as though I was glued there and I couldn't move. And it was a long time where I just wanted to get up because I was down. And that actually, I felt something happened. And because I've had those tiny experiences, they help me build up confidence in my ability to make a difference when they're working through me. And today, Mari is back. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you. Welcome. Nice to see you. Okay, so so what I was told today is that I hadn't noticed it, but I used to not. I always say I only work on emotions when I'm doing healing, but I was actually healing physical stuff for a friend without thinking about it. And they showed me what they were doing and how it happened. And it wasn't until I was talking to her about the things that had occurred that I realized, wait a minute, that's the thing I didn't believe in, but I knew it worked. And that's how almost every time I've taken a step along my journey, it's been without me even realizing that I just did it, because step by step, the thing that was so impossible for me to believe just became more and more natural. And it's sometimes we can get that easy flow and we suddenly realize, oh my God, I'm there. I didn't think I was going to be able to get there, but I am. So I would love if anyone joining either during this live or later would share their stories with these, I don't want to believe that, or I'm not able to believe that, until suddenly you are. And you're like, oh, I hadn't even worked towards it consciously, but I'm there. And it's such a cool experience. So I still need to work a bit. And just me saying I still need to is actually making it harder for me to get there. So I want to be able to release that final boundary where I doubt that I can be healed if I myself channel the healing. And I've experienced that a lot with people who are healers, often have a lot of pain and struggles themselves. And I use that as my main reason to not believe that healing worked, because if you're a healer, how come you need glasses? If you're a healer, how come you're hunched and you're not walking straight? Or how come you have had these issues? But being a good channel, a good healer, is not the same as being able to help yourself. So just like some people need someone like me to help them, I actually need someone to help me every now and then. And I've been thinking, how come I do that? How do I channel all these amazing entities and beings, and then I'm not able to just receive what they're willing to give me without having someone else do it? Where is it that I doubt myself? And that is the topic today. It's the capacity thing. And I just want to see if I can, I'm just going to go down here because I Googled capacity meaning, because there's actually a lot in that word. And I thought only for how much can I hold in me? Like, some people are afraid that they cannot love more, that they cannot receive enough love, that if they give away love, they'll be empty. But I know, because I've seen it again and again and again, that the more we open up for love, we open the heart chakra, the more we're getting. And it's as though we can never, once we're open and the flow is there, we can actually just be a source of love and never run dry, as long as we don't shut off to receiving. And a lot of us do not feel worthy to receive. even though we're working on it again and again and again. But for some reason, some patterns need more work. So I just want to say here, capacity, because it can be volume and space. So the maximum amount of liquid, solid, or gas a container can hold. And here I'm thinking of us as a container, could be the soul. And then we could do more abstract, like how many lives can my soul hold at once? How many experiences can one soul be having at the same time? Like, am I just me in this soul, or is my soul having fun with multiple experiences at the same time? Like, because I am not my soul. I am, let's see how they want me to phrase it. My soul kind of created me for whatever I'm going through, because there's some learning in it. But this part of my soul is also here because there's a mission that I need to help facilitate. And other parts of my soul, that sounded weird, but it kind of created multiple experiences to get multiple, well, I wouldn't say competencies. It's kind of as though there were things that needed to be completed. And that is really hard for me to understand. So how can more people living at the same time share the same soul? So that is new for me to believe that. And I'm still a bit in the, I'm not doubting it, because I feel as though some people out there, I feel they're part of me, even though one person I haven't met, one person I just realized now, someone I met like, I don't know, maybe 30 years ago, but I feel like we were the same, and not as, it was just one day I met this person and then not again. But it feels true, but still so abstract that I'm working around it. So if you don't believe any of this, cool. It's I wouldn't have believed it a couple of years ago. It took me a long time to open up to, I mean, reincarnation, that was like the first step, because there's been so much written about it. And you know, the stories about kids who have been able to talk about a past life. And so I lived there and I died there and my mom was, and the address was, so they could actually go out and find out these details were true for a person where the memories were still intact. And that was cool, but I needed those things to exist because I was super skeptical at first. And that made it easier for me to let go of a bit of it. But I still believe it's good to be skeptical, because there are so many things that may not be right for you to believe in. So always have that, does this feel true for me? And I feel like I have this gut feeling, and sometimes it's just nope. And sometimes the nope is I'm not ready to believe it. And other times it's that's just BS. I cannot take that in. That's their version of the world, not mine, and it's never going to be. So I trained, I was going to say my intuition, but I trained myself to know my intuition. But that was one part of the capacity, the maximum amount we can have. So I was really curious about my soul, and I hope that I can channel some insights on that today for people who may be where I am, where they're just starting to believe, people who are saying this is BS, but are curious, and to people who may be able to contribute with some knowledge about this. So then the next bullet point about what is capacity: ability and talent, a person's mental, physical, or emotional capability to understand, learn, or perform a specific task. And I am amazed every time I channel especially when I'm channeling the Galactic Council and not just Odeon, because the amount of information they can. So download is a trendy word, a popular word to say. I don't know. Yeah, let's just use download because I don't have a better term for it. But I feel as though they're putting tiny data packages inside of me that are slowly being unwrapped. So if I'm talking about something that I'm channeling, if I'm then thinking about it later, more information just shows up as though it's unwrapping when I'm able to take it in, because a lot of the time I have a hard time believing it or relating to it, because some of it is just too out there. But I still trust that the information that is coming is true, because I always have that BS detector. And if it feels right, then someone needs to hear whatever they're saying. And I'd also like to clarify that I do not, how can I say this? I do not take responsibility for what they are saying. I take responsibility for how I talk about it, how I talk about what I believe. But sometimes information is so new to me that I don't even know how to take it in myself. So, but that's also a treat. So I get a lot of cool experiences here. So the ability and talent is how we can evolve the capacity for taking in knowledge, and it's changing. So right now it's well, we're going from what you can see to what you, I mean, it's we're going to lightning speed in terms of what we're able to take in and how we're able to evolve in our psychic abilities, in our spiritual healing energy work. It's just going to be, I want to say super crazy, but it's more impressive, right? Impressive how much we're going to be able to accomplish or be a part of the moment we accept it and let it in. But again, it's the work we do ourselves. Just like I question a lot what they are telling me, not as though I don't believe it, but what do you mean? How is that? So that is how every time I get more knowledge, that's how I step. I'm a knowledge needy person, so they need to show me and tell me, and other people just need to sense, and some can just take in like a data package and then boom, it's just, that's their new reality. So it's different for all of us, not all of us, but we have different ways of receiving it. Oh, and by the way, if you have any questions, please just write them, because I will be channeling, and if there are questions, they will look into it. Okay, so production and output is also under capacity. So the maximum amount of work or goods a machine, factory, or system can generate. And that is also, when we think of this human body as a machine, we are taught that we have an expiration date. We are taught that there's a limit to what we're able to do. Sometimes it can be based on your age, your knowledge, your gender, culture, past experiences. There are so many ways to put boundaries on this production and output kind of capacity. As what if? So I'm just going to use an example for me of how I have struggled with this. Like, so I can wake up with a lot of tension. I get a lot of tension all the time. And that's one of the things that's been holding me back in the healing. Is how can I wake up and feel like this if I'm a healer and the healing energy is flowing through me all the time? But I know I tense up a lot and I have a lot of things going on. But I use it as, today I don't feel so good, and I'm not going to be able to perform that well. And then how I wake up, I let that decide my production and output, the capacity based on something. And we do that a lot, just like I did with the healing. I haven't seen real evidence that healing can cure a person. I haven't seen that you can cure, heal bones, for instance. I've heard it. I've heard many people saying that it has happened and they can believe it, but I haven't experienced it. So I haven't been able to believe it. So therefore, I am not able to do it for another person because I don't think it's possible. So I'm not going to try to do it. And that is, again, as long as we set these boundaries ourselves, then you're going to be right. If you say, I'm not going to be able to, congratulations, you're right. So what if we were to say, and please notice, I'm not saying if you have pain, if you're injured, if don't say, hey, the doctor said that I shouldn't walk on my, I have some knee issue, and if I walk too much, I might permanently damage it. Then I'm not saying don't trust that, decide that it isn't so. Because sometimes we may think that we are ready. I have thought so many times, okay, I'm just going to cure myself of this and that. And I sit and I believe, but then I test it. Okay, so I have a scar on the iris or somewhere. And that means that if I only use one eye, I have like a gray spot. And I've worked on that a few times where I felt, oh my God, it's been healed. Hallelujah. And I was crying. And the next morning I woke up and it's like, let's test it. And then it's not healed. And I was told today, well, stop testing it, just believe it. And that was kind of a aha moment. So when you test them or yourself all the time, then it's the same as not believing it, because why do you need to test something if you know, right? So I just noticed that Freya is here. Hello, beautiful Inge. Hello to you. It's nice to see you in the comments. So always nice with regulars, especially because I haven't done any advertising for this. I really ought to work on that. So, hey guys, could you please send some people in here? Yeah, so that was production and output for capacity. And the last part here was role and function. So a specific position, official job, or functional role, e.g. serving in an advisory capacity. And that is what I serving in a functional role. It's very hard to believe how much we're able to once we're open to just being it or just being able to do it, because no, you have to go to school to learn that. You have to take a course to do that. There are so many requirements built in to our system that if you want to go there, you have to do this, you have to do this. And I used to think that, let's see. I used to think, no, I'm actually going to use an example of a client of mine who I've been working with. And she has had the most amazing, I'm going to say healing education from my guides, actually. So I've been working with this client and I have experienced 3 entities coming through me and being delivered over there to help her. And they ignited or initiated or something happened over there. So she just became the purest healing light, and they have been around her and just helping her do this. But for some reason, she still lacks she's felt it. She felt so clearly something changed inside of her, that the energy was changed and something opened. But to believe that you're suddenly there without, because I have to give a certificate of something because she didn't have the real certificate. So right now she's taking a healer's course again. And I get it. we are so trained in needing others to verify or recognize or accept, and we really ought to just do it, because you need the hands-on training. The more energy you work in, and this is being channeled right now, that's Odeon, the more you use energy, the more it's going to be your tool. So if you don't use your tool, you're going to need to sharpen it again. If you forget about it, or if you don't use it, or if you doubt it. Yeah, I could come with so many examples of how you can start doing something and you become quite good at it, but for some reason you don't feel good enough, and then you're waiting for something. I don't know what you're waiting for, but when you get back to it, it's as if you have to start not over, but you lost some of the flow, you lost some of the muscle memory in how to do whatever it was. It might be art, it might be juggling, it might be, I don't know, cooking or gardening or crocheting, whatever. But when we don't practice it, it's not that we lose it, but it just gets weaker. So there's really a heartfelt want or request from, let's just say, the universe or the collective, that anyone working with energy and with a desire to become good, just do it. Because as long as you set the right intention and it's based on love and the highest good for everyone involved, it can only be good. And what if, let's say, so I'm in the healer energy now because it's easier to talk about for those who can relate to it. If you're healing someone and they have pain, so let's say they have pain and it's on a 5 out of 10. So you do healing and afterwards it's on a 4. You can choose to say, it's on 4. I wanted 1 or 0. I suck at this. It's like, it's 20%. You took away 20% of that person's pain, but we tend to not feel good enough if we're not perfect. But how are you going to get perfect when you're beginning? I don't expect to be able to run a marathon before I practice, because I need to build up muscle power and endurance. And I also need to know when to take a break. And I need to know what kind of diet is good. And it's kind of the same for this work. And it's not just for healing energy work, it's also for your psychic abilities. So they're talking now, they're so funny. I always wanted to speak Spanish. I've always been good at languages, but for some reason, I can understand a lot of Spanish, but I only do the things that I find entertaining. So I listen to music and I get to know the lyrics. I actually was able to sing Despacito at one point, but now I don't know what half the words mean anymore because I forgot. So I forgot a lot that I already spent a lot of time learning because I didn't go through with it, because the grammar and it was complicated and I didn't have fun. But I'm still annoyed that I didn't go through with it. And now I forgot why they wanted me to talk about this. Oh yeah, so it's the same with the psychic abilities. There are so many different aspects to it. So in energy work, it's quite simple. Energy, healing, love, good intentions, boom. It's not that difficult. Of course, there's like Reiki healing where you have to remember the chakra and the signs and it's more complicated. I gave it up because intuitive and just letting them do their work so much easier. But for psychic abilities, there's kind of like, you have the grammar, you have the pronunciation, you have the different cultures. So there's how they speak in South America. There's how they speak here in Spain. There are different dialects, accents, thingies. And for psychic abilities, it's the same. If you want to learn it and you want to be good at it, you got to keep going. And if you take a break, you're going to forget a lot. So, and it's the same with mediumship. So that is kind of why we're going to talk about this capacity thing today. And what time is it? I've been at it for half an hour, so I don't know how many people have come in and out. So that I see up, down. But if some of you have been here the whole time, thank you. Oh yeah, and I actually forgot to see that Marit wrote, love and joy go hand in hand. Yeah, that is true. Best partners. So if anyone wants to ask any questions before I start channeling about capacity, because this is going to be like a gift for all of you struggling, just like me, to, well, acknowledge that I can be and hold and do so much more than where I am today. But also an opening, and I am going to be selfish and ask to be healed if possible. Oh, you see there, I set a boundary. If possible, I'm going to ask to be healed of this reluctancy I have to believe that things can change just like that. Because I put so much knowledge in my head about, well, all medical stuff. We've all watched the series like Grey's Anatomy and Dr. House, and so you know about curing things, and there's no like miraculous curing in those episodes. So I need to believe those and not so much the physical law of healing and medicine and how things work. That's awesome. Right now, I'm actually sensing my plants. So they're starting energy work now. I haven't done this for a long time. I had one experience where I asked to open up more senses, and I was at a table with vegetables we just picked from the garden, and I suddenly, they started singing, like not humming, more like different frequencies. And now I'm not hearing the frequencies, but I'm just sensing like there's this electric charge or something, density coming from, I have these huge monsteras, and I also have sensations from those, but they're more like gentle caress. So I am gonna so Marit says or asks, do you think we listening can heal through you tonight? Yeah, sure. I think, and they know. And okay, so the capacity topic is also about you, anyone listening, that you decide to want to. So they're kind of making me feel as though not necessarily open up full capacity, because some of you are here to open up so much that if you do it right now, it might be overwhelming. But if you're able to take the next step and decide to receive the healing that is needed for whatever role or mission or path or what is that? Whatever you're here to do. And they're saying you can also wish for it as your human being thing here on life, yada, yada. But if it coincides with your spirit purpose, it's going to be more powerful. So if you just open up and are willing to take in the knowledge that is being, okay, let's just say, downloaded to you as these tiny data packages, they're going to ensure that it's kind of, if you take medicine, like where the medicine is slowly released, that's how this is going to be. So they're slowly going to release when you are open enough to take it in. So for some, it's going to be instantly, and for others, it might take some time. But this is going to help you so you don't have to struggle as much as I did to get here, because I have this over-analyzing brain that always but why this, why that, why, how is that possible? And how can I do that? And if I can see, I can do it for that person. And so if you can just let go of all of that and be in it, yeah. And I love it when people actually write it, because one thing is thinking it, but there's just some, when you put it out there, it's just, there's more, it's like rings in the water, you know, it's, I'm open and I'm ready. So I'm going to say it out loud for you as well. So Marit says, I am able to take next step as I am prepared, and especially forward in my turn forward. Okay. I'm getting ready. So this is me opening up to let Odeon tell us a bit about our own capacity as this existence, this soul. I'm just going to close my eyes for a bit, just to make sure that I'm properly connected. Especially since I have those plants, they're just beaming at me right now. And we actually have an exceptionally warm day here in Denmark, and it's hot. I don't hope you can hear we have 19 degrees, 20. Okay. I don't hope you can hear the vents, but if you can, I hope it's okay. And Freya is ready. So no matter when you're listening to this, just either say out loud or think to yourself, I'm ready for the next step. And then for me, it's going to be, I'm ready to allow myself to receive healing instantly and to not doubt that it works. That even felt hard saying it, because there are some barriers that, like walls breaking down. And it's based, for me, it has been, what if I believe it and it doesn't work and I get disappointed? And maybe it, you know, the whole rejection sensitivity that sometimes also comes with being neurodivergent. And the worst part is, it would be me disappointing me, because they're always doing whatever I'm allowing, but they're making me aware now. That's so nice. They're making me aware for you as well, to know that when we do that, where we ourselves, either as our subconscious or the inner child or whatever it is that is working against our progress, against the development that we so crave, it's understandable and it's okay, because that's also a step on the journey. It's a part of the process, because all parts of us need to be ready. So for some of us, they're actually right now encouraging you to invite your inner child, your ego self, your subconscious. And if you were here last week, where they were telling us to build a board, like members of a board that is kind of inside, that you can activate when needed, so you get all the different avatars or roles or personalities that you can take over when needed in certain situations. Invite all of those and say, I'm taking this decision with you so that we all feel safe in this. And if you're following along, it really feels powerful to invite all of you, all parts of you. Oh, this is so cool. And if you believe, like I do, that there are more existences at play at once, that my soul somehow is not only here, but out there, they can somehow not be invited to participate, but the energy in it, I can help lift that so that we move simultaneously. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And It says we have 21 degrees here in the south of Sweden. Yeah, it's cool. Awesome. I love it. But it's a bit much here when I'm channeling because the energy is also stirring up the heat. Okay. So I'm reluctant to do this. So I just want to soothe all parts of me right now that are anxious for this next step. And I'm sending out to you as well so you can feel a bit more calm. So just breathe into it. If you feel anxious or a bit nervous, could be even excitement. But sometimes excitement can mask that not feeling in the stomach. So just be in it and accept that sometimes it's challenging to move forward and a bit scary. But I am wrapping us all in a big blanket of fluffy pink love that is just helping us to be in this. And the energy is flowing now. Oh, this is amazing. I didn't know Odeon could do this. I feel like right now the energy is coming straight from source. They just open it. It's flowing down and I see it being copied out. Like to anyone listening to this, no matter when and where. I hope you feel this. Okay, so just allow yourself to feel however you feel. No judgment, no no defense, or just allow yourself to be, to breathe, to exist. And if you have any tension, you can just send some love or energy in there when you're breathing in this amazing light that is filling you up from above. And just let it soothe you, soften. And release all tension. And if you're not comfortable in the position you're in, just change it so that you're not tensing up or guarding yourself in that way. Okay. I'm going to take a step back and let Odeon come through and say what needs to be said. Welcome. We love to be working with you. Many of you will feel that this isn't the first time. So, as we have said before in a previous edition, we have like a calling. So, some of you might not know that you can share spirit guides in the sense that we work with many at the same time. And that is why you may have a familiarity with some of the voices you hear online, and you may have a sensation of belonging to some of the messages that are coming through. Yes. We really do appreciate you opening up for this. And this is also for Michelle. The work here is important. And those of you who are participating, you may feel it now how you're being linked, because you came here with a purpose also of enforcing the grid that you're part of, and you're helping us as, let's call it, your private light workers or uplifters to work more focused on your mission path directive. But we do not wish for you to feel as though you're obliged to be of service. It is always free choice. It is always up to you where you feel comfortable, but know that this today is going to help you feel more comfortable to allow the next steps to be visible and to dare step out into the path that lies ahead of you that feels natural for you, because you have already awakened a lot of the parts of you that have been sleeping until now. For some, it feels as though you may have been rejuvenating parts of you that will be, let's say, activated now to take on some more responsibility, not as a task or as a burden, but as something that will help you lift yourself. And this is where the capacity comes in as well, because this has always been inside of you as part of you, but you have not been made aware of it because you were not able to comprehend the concept of you holding more. We know that for a lot of you, it will be easy to relate to how it has been said that the human brain holds so much more than what you're able to use now. And it has been said many times that the human is only using 10% of their brain. We're not going to go into details about that now, but that makes it easy to understand how right now the capacity of you, even in your human form, not in soul or in, well, let's call it partly your human form, but also the energy, because most of the work that you're doing is going to be in your energy field, the aura, as some might call it. But you're gonna, if you're sensitive, we like to make sure you know that some of you might not sense it, but it doesn't mean that this isn't happening. So it's gonna expand, and it may feel as though you're overstepping boundaries because you're gonna take up more space, but it's not gonna be you as such, but the parts of you that are here to help other people, to open up this, let's call it, network of light. Imagine how one torch can light many fires. So we are inviting you to be like a torch that can help ignite light workers, light beings, and also inspire others to be more in the heart energy. So you may not even be aware how this is going to happen going forward, but the capacity that you are, we're not going to say holding, because there's no boundary to it. Just like, the universe is expanding, so will you be expanding. So there's no outer boundary as such. But it's going to change depending on where you are. So if you're low in energy, you might feel it, and you can just open up to us, because you still have the right and the ability to shut down. And it's okay. I mean, take a holiday from being open, but know that we are not working through you against your will. We are not tampering with other people's free will. We only ignite what has asked to be ignite, and you're kind of like a not a messenger, but a delivery person of this. So imagine how most of you will know how you can think about wanting a parking spot, and then you get it. And have you ever wondered how that person who was in that spot knew they needed to go? Well, that is because they themselves have somehow been of service to help you get what you asked for. So this is you helping others to receive what they have been asking for in terms of light and energy. And for some, it's even healing. So we hear a question from the energies here about, but what about my own healing? Yes, we're going into that. And this is something that we're working on your energy for the greater good. And yes, it is a bit quid pro quo, not in the sense that you owe us anything, but when you're on the path of working for the light, as the light, with the light, there is an exchange of energy. So we will give you whatever you ask for, as long as it is used to create more of the good, to create more of what you we like to see the movement of the energy. So we're not going to set a boundary or a requirement as to how it's used. As long as it's used for the good, there it's going to be so easy to attract more of it. So right now we have opened up, and since you were willing to take on that role, we can work on your energies, because in order for that to happen, we also had to remove some of the blockages with your acceptance and asking for this. So we're just letting Michelle step back again because she got curious. So for you to receive the healing for yourself, know that for some it will already have happened. The very small things are so easy for you to accept, but the big things, it's as though you do not believe in the ability. And this is especially Michelle, so we're not going to say that you listening, but a lot of people will relate to how it's okay to think that you can stop hurting in the foot or in the hand, but can you cure, let's say, psoriasis? Can you cure eczema like that? It seems impossible, especially if it's something that people have been struggling with for a long time and they had to put on lotions, creams, whatever, and it didn't cure it. So how can they believe it can disappear like that? Well, we're working on whatever beliefs you have right now that is telling you, yes, that's true. It's not possible like that, because it's been programmed into you. And it's been for a reason, because some people, some energies are not interested in everyone being able to heal themselves, and others because it is in their interest that people are hindered, are kept down, and that, well, let's say that we are not able to work purely and easily through all human beings, because that would hinder their program. Michelle is not liking us talking about this because she joined this work to be positive. But it is true that some people do not have your best interest at heart, but it does not mean you should worry, because we work to protect you. We know that you are here to help people who are not able to help themselves yet, or who are not at who are not yet ready to see what you can see, or do the work that you can do. Okay. So we are downloading different programs to different people to help, let's say, debug the system, to put in new beliefs. We're allowing Michelle to talk now because she just saw something. Okay, so Michelle here. They just showed me that some of you will also be downloaded evidence. Just like I needed evidence for believing something, I needed to be able to see it in a documentary or read it in a book. Some of you are just going to get downloads of that, so you have seen it in real life as though you did it yourself. That was weird. So if anyone can relate to that, please let me know, because I'm curious about that. And now I'm going to take a step back and let them come in. Michelle wants to know if it's annoying that she keeps asking questions, and we do not use the word annoying, but we understand. And this is, let's say, that is our price for working with Michelle, that we sometimes have to allow for disturbances, in the sense that she loves this work and is curious, and it's okay. So, and she wanted us to talk about this because she is of the opinion that many more like her will find this and would need to know this. And that is true. She is right in that. So do not fear that your curiosity or your desire or even need for knowledge is a hindrance, because we do not mind asking questions when they come from a pure heart and a desire to open up to be of service. So never doubt that we will understand that need. And she also wants us to confirm if it is true that people, no, not people, Michelle, it's, yes, let's call us entities in this sense. Have we been people? In Odeon, some have not had human existences. In the Galactic Council, as we refer to it, there is a general rule that to be a part of the council that guards Earth and makes decisions for the future of Earth, everyone should have had human existences that they remember in order to understand. But sometimes these existences may have taken place, let's say, in what for you is 1200 years ago, and that can make it harder to understand the current situations of culture and progress. But yes, everyone has at some point had some kind of experience on Earth. So for us, she's asking about capacity for us. And we are checking in to see how much we're able to share, because so Michelle kind of used a back door now and saw how us working through Odeon also have other placements. We're just trying to shut down those doors so she's not going on an adventure there. Okay. Yes. So we work in, let's call it just a multiverse. We have different roles, just like you. You have your home, you may have your job, you may have a role as a friend, as a mother, as a daughter, as a brother, or whatever. And so do we, but ours is not like you in one being. We can kind of split ourselves up into different roles and parts, and still be aware of all of these parts of us at the same time. So when we talk about how time does not exist, it is also in combination with us being able to exist multiple places, times, like, yes, Michelle, everywhere, everywhere, everything all at once. Yes. So Michelle forgot it and we were not able to get it through. That movie title. But that is how it is. Yes. And yes, Michelle, it would be nice if you could stay more out. So I'm so sorry, Michelle back here. I got so caught up in what they were saying that I entered the stage because I couldn't remember it and I got annoyed. So I put the energy down. So I'm just going to step back again so they can come through, because that was kind of interesting. They showed me how they were kind of splitting themselves up and could be everywhere. What's the movie title? Everywhere, everything, all at once, no matter. So I'm going to let them be here again and everywhere else where they are at once. Sorry. Yes, Michelle. So Michelle just said it's annoying to have capacity to be in the mind and in the body and somewhere else when this is happening, because this has been of great frustration, and she's partly here now. She's stepping in again. So we're letting her go back, but she finds it super annoying how she herself senses that she is here in front of the camera as well as in the back and up talking to us. So some of you may relate to that, and she really wants to learn how not to do that. And one of the things is, so this, we actually already had this conversation with her because we don't have to put it out in words, but we told her that now is the time for her to step back and just not butt in and see if she can do it. She cannot. Okay. Just a second. Yes. So capacity, yes, capacity is a very, let's call it difficult topic when it comes to souls and entities and spirits and galaxies. And when we go into multi-dimensional existences, where are we here? And what we think is most important for you to know. And yes, Michelle is closing her eyes now because she keeps looking out through the eyes when we're talking, and that's how we blend so much. So we're going to do the closed eyes thing. Yeah. Okay. So the healing that we started has been working, but because there was some disturbances right now, we're gonna reignite it, because you may have felt as though the connection got lost for a while there. It's coming back on. There. So, and thank you, by the way, for being here, for being of service again. We really appreciate it. And as we are, as we're working on this, you may also sense how you yourself are being kind of tuned, and you may become more open to sounds and sensations. And know that you have, as just like last week we taught you how to create an advisory board internally, so now we're showing or giving a tip for you to build your own control board. So when there's too much disturbances in the energy, just see how you have your own like a control board. So you have dials, so you can just tune it down and you can put on labels. One could be emotions, one could be, and there's no possibility to turn down the emotions completely. So for those of you thinking, yay, I'm just going to go numb for a while, no, that's not healthy. But there's going to be different labels where you can have sound and emotions and visions, thoughts, all of that. So you can create the perfect mix for the perfect situation. Some of you will know naturally how to just ask for the perfect mix, and some of you will need to test it because you're playful, you're curious, and that's okay. But really, you could just ask, please show me where the perfect level is and make it standard. And if something changes, change it so that anyone can do that. It's really that simple. Okay. And as for you being able to heal yourself, we are we are sensing some energies working against this being common knowledge right now. So we're spreading out the sensation, the ability to believe in this is the first thing necessary, and the trust in it. Yes, so we're breaking down walls again. For some of you, something changed in the energy here, and we are lifting, lifting, lifting. And showing all negative energies out. Making room for more joy, more lightness, more happiness. An open heart. But a guarded heart, guarded by love. And the source energy that is like a shelter that protects you and guards you. Because you're one of us doing our, let's say, not work, but cooperating in a way where you yourself are allowed to feel good and to benefit as a payment. Why shouldn't you be paid for your hard work? For some, this might actually be easier to take in if you consider it your payment for all the work you have put in. So of course you deserve to also be healed. You who want so badly the world to be better, why not you? For some, you may need a lift of the brain fog that is holding you in some kind of despair, like a prison you put on yourself. And we are helping you remove that now if you allow it, as though the screen is wiped of grime, so it allows you to see the light, to see your light, and to also see that you are protected, that there is a shield, that you're not out in the open, but more that you are the beacon of light that shows others the safe shores and helps them journey away from dangers or unnecessary shipwreck, let's call it that. And yes, if you heard heartbreak, that may also be true. So if that is your mission here, sometimes shipwrecks and heartbreaks are necessary, but those that you who came here will be lighting up your light for, they have most likely already had the hardships that is necessary for them to arrive where they need to be. And others will be able to just take on your progress so that they don't have to go through it, because you're open to sharing. You don't have to use words. You don't have to even intentionally give them that part of you. But right now we are, as we said earlier, working on unwrapping this package of development, evolution inside of you in in the right speed, time, moment for you, so that you can simply share without giving away and inspire without even having to try, because you're open and coming from where you're coming from, where you're connected right now, and where you're receiving, as though you have your own eternal flame, eternal power source that has been not installed since this was always available to you, but you have been firmly linked now. And of course, you can work hard to dismantle or to break off the link, which we would not see any reason to do, because you deserve this light. You deserve to feel safe and strong and connected. You are deserving. And right now, some of you may struggle to accept all the love that we're sending to you, flowing down, down, down. And you may feel as though you have a cone inside of you that is all the way down into the ground. It's as though there's a cone going up into where you yourself sense your core, your soul particle is at the top of this cone, and it goes all the way down to the center of the earth, or wherever you pull your earth energy from, because for some it's just a few feet below, and for others you go all the way down. It's not that important as long as you feel grounded. And yes, this has something to do with what element you consider yourself belonging to, or which element you tend to work mostly towards or in. We're talking fire, air, water, earth. And some of you may not need to go all the way down into the core of the earth to get enough grounding. Some of you may have a sensation of more light opening up. Some of you may even feel a wind, like a tiny tornado around you, helping you to release old energy and bringing up new open possibilities and flow. And as for the water element, those are the happy emotions flowing through you. And now we invite you. You can set an intention for an actual healing if you dare. And please know that if for some reason you do not immediately sense it, do not doubt that it is happening, because the energy is working in you. But for some of you, yes, you can just close your eyes, think, how does it feel to be healed of this? And you can allow your body to program it like that and release the old. And yes, it is now. Okay. So, Michelle here, back. And Mara wrote, now we heal. Yeah. I just tested. The first thing I did was to test. Is it gone in my neck? I need to stop testing. I'm just going to believe that when I wake up in the morning, I don't tense up anymore. It's really hard to release an old pattern like that when you consider it part of who you are or what you've been struggling with for a long time. So I choose to change that. I choose to make it easy. And I choose to have faith in the healing abilities of the universe, of Odeon, of all the amazing ascended masters and whoever is out there to help us and help you. Good. So, any questions? The energy is still working. And remember to drink water or lime, something. Maybe some of you might need something citrusy or electrolytes. Use your intuition. I definitely feel like the water element is at play. So I noticed a few people joining during the healing. You can always go back, but they're telling me that even if you just came in for part of the healing and you're not able to see it again or you're going to forget it, it's okay to just set the intention that whatever you need, there's a reason why you came and you're going to get full benefit of it. That's pretty awesome, actually. I love how we don't have to spend a lot of time to feel better. But I feel that I still need to work on what I believe to be true about the human body and anatomy and all of that. It's so weird how the programming, even if we're aware of it, that we can keep on activating it. I'm going to make some affirmations tonight as to what I believe in now, so that I wake up in the morning. I'm going to consider it my new reality. And you know what? Since I know these steps are hard for me, so just like in the beginning, we were talking about if a healer can have a patient or client where pain is at level 5 out of 10, and when they're done, it's level 4. Oh, wait a minute. I said 20% of pain. Yeah, well, it would be because I was thinking 10%, but that was out of 10. So if I wake up in the morning and I only have changed like 2 out of 10 of those beliefs, then how amazing is that? Because that was something I was not able to believe today. So just be gentle with yourself. And I think it's so awesome how they're showing me that some people are just going to say, yeah, okay, I can believe that. I can do that. And then boom, I wish that was me. So I'm going to write that as a new affirmation. I can instantly change my own reality and also help people instantly. That would be pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah. So I normally don't set a time limit on these live streams because it depends on the amount of people joining and the questions. So I was thinking no questions, maybe it's time to shut down, and then boom, boom. Then Freya wrote, could it be that you're describing how we are our own creators? Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to see how this correlates, because for me, if I write down what I want, I can feel already now. I'm seeing myself in the future. I have written those things, but I can feel that I didn't believe it in my gut feeling when I wrote it. And those are the ones that are not going to be true when I wake up in the morning. So a tip here is so let's say I write, tomorrow I wake up and I'm going to be as healthy as when I was 20. I'm not going to believe that, because how could that be possible? I'm 49 and, oh, Michelle, really? You look so young. Thank you. Sorry. I will work, if I write that and I sense, I don't believe it, then I'm going to see what am I able to believe. So I might change it to, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to feel as fit as if I had been doing my yoga every day and had been eating healthy for 2 weeks. That would be possible for me to believe, because I can relate to that. I don't remember how it was to be 20. I don't even think I was in a good shape when I was 20, because I'm a yoga teacher now. And back then, my main movement was dancing all weekend and not getting enough sleep. So yeah. So if you're writing down your new reality, you have to feel it as being true. And then now comes Joe Dispenza on stage in my mind, not for real, but he has this, he advises people to, when they want to change their reality, they have to sit down like in a meditation and change their reality, and they don't get up. They stay in the meditation until they have become that they want to be. I don't have a lot of patience, so I get exhausted just by thinking about that, because in my mind it's like, oh, that's going to take me hours. So why not believe that I can do it in seconds and see what happens? And I'm going to train it, because I may not be able to do it in seconds, but what if I could do it in a minute or in 10 minutes? And then next time 9, and then 8, and then maybe 1, and then seconds. Practice makes perfect. And sometimes we have to have some kind of proof before we can believe something. So if I'm able to say, if I'm going to believe that I wake up in the morning and this has changed, I need to meditate 30 minutes on that belief. And if I succeed in that, then I could also believe, if I was able to do that, then I would be able to decide to do it in 10. So it's really about, what am I willing to believe, because it's about willingness and actually feeling it, sensing it, like your cells, the entire body, full body. Yes, that's really what we're going for. If some part of you is saying, yeah, but, and I'm getting that a lot of it is going to be about worthiness. I don't know what it is about us thinking we have to be worthy. It's really crazy. You're worthy. You deserve it. Okay. So, and hi, Deborah. So Deborah Nugent, 66. Yes, I do have a sinus infection I have had for 3 years, and wondering the reason my body has not let go of this. So I'm just going to go into that, because sometimes there's a message, and before we get the message, and I'm just hearing now, we actually don't have to consciously know the message, but we have to kind of adopt the experience, the learning into our energy body. Okay, whatever. But sometimes we just need to know what the lesson is before we can move on. So I'm going to go in, and I'm not going to use Odeon. So this is just me, psychic, mentoring, healing. This is about pleasure. So for some reason, your sinus infection is about you not daring to enjoy life in all that it has to offer. It's about, it's so weird. They're showing as though you're afraid that if you take in all that life has to offer, then you're going to run out. Because they're showing me how I have traveled so much and seen so many beautiful churches that it's very hard for me to be in awe anymore. I've seen so many amazing things that I'm afraid that there isn't going to be anything that's going to surprise me anymore. So that is part of it. So you're actually holding yourself back because you're afraid of using up all the good that this life has for you. So you're actually, because the sinuses, it's the ears, the nose, everything is connected up here, and also the flow of energy, all the meridians, it's all connected somehow energy wise. And if you know more about energy and I'm wrong, this is what they're showing me regarding Deborah, how the flow of just loving life and taking it all in without fear of running out. And that running out of time, running out of money, running out of experiences, running out of even friends, of luck, of good fortune, of it's like in the game, call a friend. So if you call a friend and then you cannot call that friend anymore and you needed more tomorrow, then you shouldn't have done it. So you don't do it, but you have unlimited call a friend, because you also have unlimited friends and your spirit guides and also in light workers. So you're not going to run out. Like if you dare indulge. I'm also sensing there's something about the word indulge. It seems sinful. It seems greedy, needy, and it doesn't have to be. I mean, just I'm just seeing an image of a big bouquet of beautiful colored flowers and just all your head into it, and there are different smells, different colors, sensations, and that is not sinful. That is just rewarding yourself with the small things in life and realizing how many huge experiences there are there if you just take in all the small things as the big things, and then the big things are also going to be there. But if you don't allow yourself to really savor, to really taste, smell, see, feel, really experience with all senses, even the ones that we're not taught about. If you don't allow yourself to do that, then why even have all those senses? And I'm being shown that to heal it, cure it, let go of it, it's kind of an inner work, so I'm not going to be able to help you other than how I described that. What I'm not able to believe, I need to sit with it and feel first, why am I not able to? What if I was to believe it? How would it feel? Would I be able to take it in? Would I be able to accept that? For me, it's also, who am I to just heal something like that when other people are struggling? You see, that's funny. I didn't know I had that. That just came like, that was something I thought that was other people's worries, but apparently I still struggle with that. Isn't it cool when, boom, you just get insights like that? So, yeah, so just sit with it, find out. And this goes for anyone who's still struggling. You can simply write it down. If I were to be cured of this, how would it feel? And would I be okay with it? And then if you realize I wouldn't be okay with it, then what is holding me back, and how can I either learn the lesson or just release it? Because sometimes there's no lesson. Sometimes we're just kind of punishing ourselves. It's so stupid what our brain is doing to itself, or that we're doing. It's, yeah. This was Michelle's words, not the guys. The guys are way more, they're better at articulating this. So Deborah is saying, I can feel you connecting to me. This is cool. This is very interesting. How can I change this? I hold myself back. Feeling good things are for others. Yeah, okay. This is so funny because when I read this, feeling good things are for others, the cool thing about this is you don't realize how much the good things that are for others are coming from you. So you're helping these people get the things. It's kind of like you're subconsciously working on giving others what you so would wish for yourself, and you can just have it. I mean, they're pointing a finger at me because I've mentored Deborah and I'm working on my own Oracle deck. And when I was talking to Deborah about it, she said, "Oh, well, how do you do that? Because I have these and so and so." And now she has these amazing cards. She's already got them printed and it's in numerology. And I helped her find out you can do this, 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 this. And she actually managed to do it, but I didn't. So I have the same issue that I'm able to give others what I really want myself. And that's also something to work on. So that is also about capacity. I have put a restraint on how much I can do as me. I have these lives and I have the healings and I'm a yoga teacher and I teach languages. I'm a mentor, coach, psychic, all of this. How can I also write the books with spirit? And I have my Oracle deck and I have so many things going on. So I have put a limit on my own capacity. And then I'm just helping others create it because I've done all the work. I know how it should be done. I have all the ideas, but I've drained myself in this human body thing because that is my belief. How would I have energy for that? And it's priorities. We all have more energy than we think, but we keep because we made a boundary, we're gonna either knowingly or unknowingly drain ourselves so that it's true what we say. I don't have energy to follow my dreams. I don't have energy to do the things that I really want to do. And then we're going to do some, sorry to say this is mainly for me, dumb shit. Like I have this puzzle thing I do and I tell myself, oh, I'm just recharging. But I'm actually using a lot of energy when I'm in that field because it's analyzing and pattern and blah, 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 blah. So we are so good at being our own biggest energy vampires, actually, if we have put a limit to our capacity. So this is your invitation to rethink capacity. What are you able to achieve if you stop putting a limit that intuitively isn't true? So again, like I've said earlier, if you're injured, if you really have to look out, like let's say you have a broken arm, then don't do stuff because you're thinking, oh, I'm beyond this. This is not real. Sometimes it is, and there's a reason for it. But it doesn't mean you couldn't work on a broken arm healing rapidly. But be sure that it is healed before you start using it. Good. So, and I'm just gonna see. Deborah. Yeah, so she said, yes, I wondered if I was hanging on to this for a reason. I'm English and we were told to not be so big-headed. I know. Yes, I realized needing to change my timeline so that I can have abundance. Okay, let's get to I felt the timeline is not necessarily, it's more your current timeline. You can just decide to, okay, so this is me not grasping timeline is what they're saying. Maybe how you perceive timeline, it's correct. I just hadn't grasped it yet. So it's not just timeline, it's also just your belief system. And funnily enough, we can change it just by deciding to. Like I used to think that if I expect the worst and hope for the best, I wouldn't get disappointed. But when you expect the worst, you're sure to find it. And when I realized this, I changed it. So I expect the best. I don't hope for the worst, but I believe that if I don't get the best, there's a reason, and I can always find a solution, or I can learn from it, and then I can get the best. It's and I the minute I realized that, my life changed, because I started looking for the best. I started, instead of when I went to a restaurant, I would know they're going to come back and tell me they're out of my order. Everyone else is going to get their food, but they're going to be out of my order. It's statistically impossible for someone to experience it as many times as I have. But that was just how I was used to it being and believed. And the minute I realized that this is not how I want it to be, I changed it. And guess what? I experience it almost never. I think I've had it once in some years, but it was like almost every time. We were just sitting there waiting for it to happen. And my husband too, he wouldn't start eating until I had my food, because he knew that I would be hangry, and he could share his food with me, because it would always happen. But we can decide to change the belief system once we are aware of it, but sometimes we're not aware of it. I didn't know that I was able to create it. And I also realized that when I'm in a negative mood, it's so much easier to create. So if I don't want to go to work, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm so tired, I don't wanna. And then boom, 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 cancel. And I'm like, shite, I didn't mean it. I was just low on energy. So always think about what you do want. And if you realize you're in a belief system of, oh, this is probably going to be horrible, change it to, but what do I want it to be? And then believe that that's what you're going to get. So that's also a cool experience when you see it again and again working. So for some who may have worked very hard on building up a defense against receiving and being worthy, that's maybe the way to go. So I'm just going to check that I'm not missing out, because I saw. So Deborah said, because you're amazing. I'm not sure I said a lot of things, but yeah, you're right. And so are you. And I know some people are going to not like that I accept that, but that's my thing. I decided to feel amazing. So I do, even if I say the wrong thing or whatever, because I chose to be. And so can you. Good. And thank you so much, Michelle. This makes sense. Yes, this is so helpful and bang on. Super. So that was Deborah, and I'm going to roll up again, because there was Marit said, my wonderful husband has psoriasis and prostate cancer. So that is, yeah, and you also said, when I heal, my daughter heals. Okay. So I was talking about psoriasis before. So Marit, is there a question in this? Because I just feel like I want to tell you, we cannot heal other people if they're not ready to receive it. If they're not ready to change, because what I've learned is that things that are on your skin is usually about boundaries and letting other people overstep it. Could be different for some people, but once we take responsibility for that and change it ourselves, we can heal it. So if your husband, I am getting that you could help him heal that if he opens up to receive it. But I feel like a lot of people are from old school learning, where you feel like you owe someone. So if you receive something, you owe, like, what's this gonna cost me? And that's also really important. So I was talking about when we work as healers, then we get a reward. So that kind of keeps up the whole quid pro quo, something for something. But when we're as healers helping others, it's very important for them to understand that they are not the ones who owe us in a sense of gratitude or okay, this is crazy. This is again one of the things I don't like talking about, but let's say someone, I'm going to think about how to say this because of the algorithms and YouTube and what you're allowed to say. Let's say someone has a disease that is very serious and you were able to cure them. Would they then feel that they owed you their life? Would they need to be grateful forever for you? And that's where it's important to understand that you didn't do it. They did it. They healed themselves because they were able to take it in. They were able to accept the changes and open up to receiving. The reward you're getting is either you're probably getting paid if it's your job, but you're also evolving because the energy is flowing through you, and your cooperation, your teamwork with your collective, your guys or your healers or ascended masters or the angels or whatever is going to be better and better. So that's going to be your reward. So it's difficult for people to accept this kind of help where they feel like they're not able to reciprocate, return the favor, whatever. So let's just see if you've said he is open and I am even more open. He wants to get well and has started to love himself more and more. Well, that's amazing to hear. And that's really where a lot of the healing starts. Once we start loving ourselves without feeling bad, because, oh, don't be selfish and don't be egotistical. How can we enjoy life if we don't like ourselves? How can we love life if we don't love ourselves? Because we are alive. The life is us, right? If I'm not here, then this life does not exist because it's experienced through me. So if I don't love me, how can I love life? Because from my perspective, the life that I'm seeing, experiencing, can only exist if I exist, right? Because you see the world from a different perspective. If you don't love you, you're not able to fully love your life because it's created through you, through your experiences, your sensations, your manifestations, and your beliefs. This is pretty cool. I'm really screaming, whoa, this is amazing in my head because this is being channeled right now. And this is amazing information. So yes, we help people, but they don't owe us gratitude. But it's still amazing when we get it, like, oh my God, you're amazing, because it's instant reward because the energy we're receiving is positive and it's uplifting. So it's not feeding the ego, it's feeding the light and the love that we're getting in return, So we are somehow getting something back, but they don't owe us anything. And that's kind of the most important part about this. We would never do it for people to owe us anything. Yeah, I don't need to elaborate on that, I'm told. So, and then Freya said, is that how you say your name? Freya. She said, I experienced that when I shift the energy to my future self, my traumas are released automatically without work. It takes practice to choose my new me. Yeah, I actually saw something like that, the shift, because as I was saying in the beginning of this, I was with a friend today that I had done some amazing healing where I saw something that shouldn't be able to be healed was healed, and it would require surgery, and they showed me how it was done. And then she was talking today as though it hadn't, like she was waiting for confirmation to see if she needed the surgery. And I just thought, boom, she just kind of rolled back on the healing that had already taken place. So we were talking a bit about it, and then they showed me how we could rewind all the things that kind of, so let's say we build a manifestation. It was there, it was going to the destination, but it was then rolled back because of all the beliefs and the the trained, it's not possible to heal like that, was kind of hammering down all the progress that was going on. And they showed that if we just, now that we were aware of what was happening, we could kind of roll back time to before. So right after the healing, right when everything was good and the energy was working, and it was as though we just erased all the old beliefs that had worked against it. And that was pretty cool. So yes, you can go into your future self, but you can also, if you notice that you're working against the healing, you can just go back to when you started working against it and say, well, I just release it, I delete it, and then I move on in a positive where all of this is working again and I'm getting all the good stuff. So that's also cool. So that is probably the timeline thing. I'm not sure how all this timeline works. I feel it's confusing, and I could ask my guys right now, but sometimes I like confusion because then I get curious. Sometimes it's boring to just get all the answers, and I want to know other people's perspectives on it, because if I'm going to know a lot about it, I know I'm going to have some mentorees or students in the future who are going to be just as confused as I am right now, and I need to be able to see it from their perspective. And if I just boom fix it like that, then I'm not going to experience the learning more and taking the steps. So that is also part of why some of us cannot go from step A to step Z just like that, because our purpose here in life can actually be to know the steps in order to understand others and share their journey, because we can relate. That's kind of, that's annoying. Why do I have to? It's not annoying. It's, I would love to, yeah, actually, I'm going to try to see if I can connect the version of me. If, and this is again the confusing part, should it be in another dimension me, or should it be my soul out there in another experience where they just get to do everything? Boom, boom, boom. Let's have fun and jump from one thing to another. Yeah. So have you done that? Have you trained seeing other parts of your existence as if you could experience it from your higher self, your soul level, so you could see all the experiences the soul is getting, or previous lives, or other dimensions, whatever you believe? I'm still struggling with the whole people talking about, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that. I don't want to put any negative energy in, because I feel as though I'm opening up to a lot. So what I would be saying now is maybe not what I believe next week. So I'm not going to say it. Yeah. So Marit says, do your guides say my husband can heal himself instead of a surgery? Oh, I'm feeling a blockage towards this because I don't want to give medical advice, but let's see what they have to say to this. First of all, they don't want to go into this, not in a public space. He has not asked himself, and it is not up to them to share information like this, because it can alter. So they are willing to say that energy has already been set in motion and he is working on it, and they are not going to interfere with it based on this request. However, they are willing to say that you can assist the energy with your positive intention and support, as long as he isn't pressured into anything, because it has to be him taking the steps and it's his journey. Yeah, makes sense. I love it when you reach out to get information and you just get that no access. It's cool to know that there are boundaries that are just out there, because it makes it easier to understand that you have those too. So if you've already set the boundary, I'm only letting in love, light, and good intention, and that I'm not open to anyone who I have not invited in, or that my higher self is not calling upon or whatever. So if you haven't done that already, you can just do it. And it's so easy. But again, I'm told we still have to believe it. If we don't believe it, we can again, bam, 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 hammer it down. So just believe it, sit with it, meditate on it until you feel as though it is your truth. And it doesn't have to take hours. It can be to decide that you believe it. And that's the easiest way. The easiest way is to decide it. Decide it, not need it, want it, wish it. Decide this is how it is. This is what I believe now. And then you sit until you feel it as though it is true. Yeah. He says yes to healing. I'm told healing is being sent to him. I'm not allowed to see what it is, but I feel as though I'm also scared to look too much because I prefer the face-to-face thing. But so they're showing me that they're directing energy to where it needs. I'm not seeing an image. I'm just seeing like a map of a person. And yeah, energy is being sent. Healing is happening. It's not me. It's the intention going on there, but they are helping. And it's you. You're the channel right now. Yeah, because you asked for it. Good. I think you can sense it. I feel as though it's so funny. Normally the energy comes through me, but here it feels as though it's coming from my guides and it's going into the screen, and I see it coming out of you and being directed. That's so funny. Mm-hmm. And she says, "Love you." Yeah, thank you. You too. It's amazing being here. I hope I got all the questions answered. Almost 2 hours again. Yeah. So I think it's time to shut it down. Do they have any last things on capacity? No, they're just showing me it's how a lot of small containers have been enlarged now, so we have more capacity for light and love, and that we're part of the movement. Okay, cool. So if there are any last comments, things that you intuitively feel should be shared, or any feedback that could support the energy and the purpose that we have, all of us beautiful souls here, then it's time. And if you haven't heard it before, not alcohol, but I like to make things feel more amazing. Yeah. Okay, so this is me saying thank you for being here, for sharing the space, for actually also being part of the energy, because the more that are here during, and also I think it's so cool that they show me like future perspective, us linking to other people that are not present here now, but their energy is part of this. So that's why it works like it does. That took me a long time to also accept as being true, but they keep showing me. And when I can see things and feel it, that's enough for me. What do you need? What's the kind of proof that you need? Should you feel it, see it, taste it, know it? How do you take in new beliefs as your truth regarding spiritual development? It would be cool to know, because for me, it's usually they have to kind of show me. So for the Galactic Council, I had to be up there. I had to see the white table and see all the people, and they showed me where I came from, how the people there communicated, and it had to be so weird that I hadn't heard about it, and kind of got it confirmed when I started looking around people at that big white table and the 12 sources they were talking about. So that was pretty cool. And Freya said, love this live. Thank you, Michelle. You were so amazing. This subject is so important right now worldwide. Yeah, thank you. I think so too. So please share it, because I haven't gotten to that yet. So you could help me by sharing, and especially subscribing. And also maybe there's something with notifications you can get so that you don't miss the next live. Well, it's going to be Monday, 7 o'clock Danish time in the evening. I don't know what time it is where you live, but you can see it because I always have the upcoming live events, and I haven't put in the topics yet because they usually come, but I'm also going to have the next healing on Wednesday. I'm actually thinking, why do I need the healing? So I have a feeling that they're going to be more, because the healing here is really good. And I might switch the Wellness Wednesday to also the optimistic updates. I have also some cool information about the energies right now, so we get 2 things out of it and not just a healing. I don't know. I'm gonna ask them, but not right now because I gotta pee. Sorry. So I have to shut down for now. And Deborah say, thank you. See you tomorrow from Canada. Yeah, see you tomorrow, Deborah. Looking forward to it. We're going to work on oracle cards tomorrow. So maybe I have some cool news next time that I may actually have been able to make my own. And Freya says, når det kilder i min ryggrad fra bund til top, så ved jeg det rigtigt. So that was Danish. She says when she have this tingling sensation in her spine from bottom to top, she knows it's right. And that is also one of my signs. You know, when I'm hearing something, I started talking about in the beginning how I can take in some things as being true, even though I didn't believe it previously, but it's just like I can feel it in my whole body. In the beginning, they always made me feel like I wanted to cry because I couldn't miss it because I didn't cry. I had shut down my emotions, but I changed it. I told them, I'm so tired of this. Could you please why can't I just get goosebumps? I hear people getting goosebumps. So now it's always just my left arm goosebumps. But if it's super important or they're saying like, yeah, Michelle, you nailed it, then I'm getting the whole spine thing and the shivers, and it's amazing. So yeah, I get that one. So thank you for sharing, Freya. And thank you all for being here. I loved it, and I love you, and I love this work. And I can't wait to see what happens next time. So next Monday, maybe I'll see you there. Or just write. Even after this live is over, please comment, ask your questions, because I can bring them up in the next live or maybe answer them immediately in the comments. So thank you for participating. I love you. They love you. We love you. Bye-bye.